The following podcast is being brought to you by the Defy Life Podcast Network.
Maybe we can still heal you. Why? So you can just lock me up? No. Just bury me in the ocean with my ancestors that jumped from the ships. Because they knew death was better than bondage.
Oh, you think darkness is your ally? You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't see the light until I was already a man. By then it was nothing to me but blinding. The shadows betray you because they belong to me.
In the hell do you think you are?
Okay, it's not working out. I'm gonna need the suit back.
For how long?
Forever. Yeah, let's have
No,
it.
please.
Let's have it.
You don't understand. This is all I have. I'm nothing without this suit.
If you're nothing without this suit, then you shouldn't have it. Okay?
So, Oz, Endgame is out. We've had plenty of time to digest it. It's a big movie to digest, and I thought that with the movie of that magnitude and that type of crossover, we needed to have our own type of in-game crossover. So, I just wanted to ask you, do you think we brought on enough help to handle this type of mission?
Well, I do want to say the assembled cast that we have here today, I feel they actually put the Avengers to shame. The Defenders, Justice League, Titans. I think we brought our A game here for tonight, and I'm quite proud to be assembled here on these hallowed halls.
And V's, let me ask you, as someone who has not seen Endgame, why not?
Just I guess time and opportunity and other priorities to take care of, I reckon.
No doubt. And
the go strawberry picking on
No, we didn't.
Y'all didn't want to go strawberry picking on?
we tried to lie and got caught. Hey, look. And so we have on we had to boost our forces. So we brought on Movie Man Migs to talk about one of the biggest movies, if not the biggest movie of all time. Movie Man Migs, what's going on?
What's happening, fellas? Thank you for having me on once again. I'm looking forward to the discussion. I actually took a little trip today. Went down to Philly to the Regal RPX so I could see it again, so I could be fresh for the podcast. So I was looking for some collectibles, but they didn't have any, and I found out that Regal done sold out of all their little collectible popcorn tins, so won't be getting that. But they still got posters available, so we'll see if I can snag a couple of those.
Wait, Migs, you went all the way to Philly today to watch a movie?
It's only an hour away. I go to that theater all the time.
Wow.
Oh, I didn't know.
That's dedication.
That close to.
Wow. And we also have
I'm in
on
a good spot, man. I got Philly and New York to the north. I got Virginia, DC to the south. Ain't too far away. It's just traffic sucks sometimes. Actually, a lot of times, but
in that good middle ground. And then we also have on from the flagship, we got my main man Money on Money. What's going on?
Hey man, hey, I feel like I should get some theme music or something. Hey, how y'all doing, man? I'm gonna just say, man, y'all already know, man. It's 2 for Tuesdays. Not really, but the real is back. So I'm happy to be on. Hey, I've been referring y'all show out, man. I referred y'all show to a couple of comic heads that I work with, man. I actually shot them over the speaker link to episode 27. I was like, yo, this is their latest episode. So check them out. I think you'll really enjoy it, man, because we talk comics, comic movies, all types of Star Trek, Star Wars. We talk about that stuff all the time at the office. So hey, kindred spirits, baby. So I just want I shot it from the other day, and no doubt. I hope I told him to get back to me, let me know what he thinks, and shoot y'all, emails and all of that. But y'all plug all that in the show. But, just shout out, man. I'm gonna continue doing that, man. Y'all got to
Oh man,
dope.
Yo, that's good money right there. That is good money. Thank you, money.
They don't call him money for no reason, Oz.
I'm saying, man, dude, straight up.
Now,
true.
Oh, go ahead.
Story about money is he used to be one of my best friends.
Now look. Why you say used to be? What's going on, man? I feel like that was a backhanded shot.
Used to be though. Wow.
Right.
I text money and call money and I tag him on Facebook and stuff. I don't get any responses back. But if regular Scott asks him to be on the podcast, all of a sudden I hear from money. That's why I say, here we go.
Wow, son, after 20 years.
Scott, your podcast be causing all the beef, yo.
I know, dude.
Man, this joint is hostile up in here,
dude.
I don't know what's going on with that, Migs.
Duck and cover, dude. Duck and cover.
When you come on this show, you got to be careful.
Wow.
You got to watch what happens.
Hey,
all your money been through.
Regular Scott, if he upset now, he gonna be real upset in a few minutes.
Hey, let's. Go ahead, Oz.
I'm reminded of the Public Enemy song and saying, all I want is peace and love on this planet. Ain't that how God planned it? Okay, so I'm just saying.
Hey,
okay?
money. While we're on, let's go ahead and talk about it. I know that there was something that you wanted to bring up for V's and Oz, so the floor is yours. And Migs, actually, because you're movie man, Migs, you might enjoy this as well. So, money, the
money, we're ready, money, we're ready.
No doubt. So once again, I listen to the show, and I always hear these references. And I was on the show a few episodes back. Listeners, if you didn't, if you want to just hear a riot, go check that show out. It was crazy. But I kept, every time I listen to the show, I hear reference to this movie called Polar.
Oh boy.
And
here we go.
And my main man V's is high on the movie. I remember he always
best friend.
Absolutely, my former best friend. And he always makes references to it being, better, and he compares it to John Wick, and then the character that John Wick plays, and he says the movie is as good as John Wick, and I remember saying on that show, okay, I'm gonna check this movie Polar out, like that it must gonna be the joint, it must be crazy, and so I watched Polar last weekend or the weekend before last. Migs, have you seen Polar?
Me and the lady started watching it, but we only got past like 10 minutes, so we gonna get to it. But I only seen 10 minutes.
Here we go.
Was it because you got busy, or was like you had to go?
We was going to watch it, like watch the whole movie, and we started watching it, and we both started dozing because it was late, so we just said let's just watch it another time because we want to get
respect due. Hey, yo, money. I'm gonna give you I'm gonna give you just a quick 1 minute, not to interrupt, but just 1 minute justification breakdown.
Get ready for taking showers. If you need to go make you something to eat, this is your time. This is your opportunity.
No, this ain't gonna
do what you gotta do.
This ain't gonna be long. This ain't gonna be long at all.
Go bake the turkey if you got to. I don't care what you gotta do. All I'm gonna say is this. I will go down the record as saying this. Polar's, the bad guy in Polar, terrible. The action in Polar, awesome. That's the John Wick comparison. The action in Polar and just the brutality and stuff is beautiful. The bad guy, horrific. But other than that, I'm with it.
The bad guy was terrible, but like you said, the action and you can't tell me some of those fight scenes wasn't really freaking good.
It was amazing, right?
They already defending themselves. I haven't said a word.
I know.
Money. Do you think, money? Do you think?
I haven't said a word.
You haven't even given your argument yet.
Yo, okay. So I watched Polar, right? And I'm a fair. I think I'm a fair movie critic. I'm a fair movie guy, right? And I just what I told regular Scott. I said it wasn't like super trash, but it was close. Like,
so if we're gonna do our scale, regular Scott, will you please break down our scale for people, our rating system?
And let's talk about our scale. We have the top of the class is obviously the Iris West, because I mean she's a gem, right? She's a gem to the world. We can all
the pinnacle.
She's the pinnacle. She's the top. She's a 10.
Okay. Okay.
Then we got the MGK. The MGK Waterlog Kelly. That's a solid 6. An average good movie. And then after that, we got our Jar Jar Binks.
It is a straight Jar Jar Binks. It is like even Jar Jar Binks wouldn't even. It's like, man, why you gonna rate me a Jar Jar Binks, dude? Yeah.
Okay. So at the bottom of the bottom, we got the Guardian from Supergirl.
Oh yeah.
He's the worst. Just the absolute worst.
Now hold on. Hey, now Migs and Money. If it is even super trash, you can put Amir's red hair from Aquaman on that too.
Ooh.
But if it's really good, you can add an Infinity
Get him there,
Gauntlet.
Scott. You can add an Infinity
Gauntlet
Gauntlet if it's really good.
And it's because we love all these things.
So first of all, they tried to make an obvious play on John Wick, right? And the shit was stupid. Like it was mad corny the way they tried to make like an obvious play on John Wick with the whole dog situation. Like, but I kind of got a little chuckle out of it, right? But still, I thought it was corny. All right, so the first scene, the first scene didn't completely turn me off, but I was thinking like, okay, they set up the plot, but I didn't.
Can I say something?
Yeah, sure.
The first scene was horrible. But
Johnny Knoxville, terrible.
That first scene was so. Boom! They take you right out of the first scene and put you in the second scene with the John Wick spinoff. So they had two terrible scenes back to back.
Ain't no spoiler alert. If you haven't seen Polar, dude, come on, man.
I haven't seen Polar.
Okay, well,
I seen that first 10 minutes, so I know what y'all talking about. That's pretty funny because that opening scene doesn't really make sense. It's just kind of weird.
It's just stupid. They could have cut that out.
It's super weak, right? It's super weak.
Yeah, it was
if I went off of that opening scene, I wouldn't have finished watching the movie. I'm glad I finished watching it.
Oh, V's. I almost turned it off after seeing Johnny Knoxville in there. I was like, what is this?
I was like, man, what in the hell am I watching? But
why am I watching that dude with a boner?
I was like, what the hell is this?
And he had a boner too, dude. I don't need to see neither one of that. That's not good for me.
The two best. Okay, I will say this: the two best scenes in the movie. Spoiler alert. The two best scenes in the movie was, in my opinion, because this shit was funny. But when they got to my second man's house, to his apartment, and he must have thought Shorty was like his John or something.
Right.
So she came in the house and he like slapped her up and was like, yeah. And then so I thought that was funny because they took him out. So I found that to be humorous. And then the scene, of course, where at the end where he got them all. He got the big army with the little laser guns and all that. But I mean,
so you owe some money. You didn't like the hallway scene
with the fat dude?
No, the hallway scene where he's fighting everybody through the hallway. That was reminiscent. If it's a spinoff, that was reminiscent of Old Boy.
Of who?
And Daredevil too. Actually, there was a great hallway fight scene in that.
I was trying to figure out, was it supposed to be like a comedy or was it supposed to be like an action movie or a little bit of both? And either way, I just thought it was bad. I never really thought he was in any real danger. I never, in the scene, like the little torture scene, I thought was kind of like, it just tried too hard. I did not enjoy it.
Okay. I respect that. Okay.
That might be my unpopular opinion on the show, but I thought, well, in fact, it's not that. The thing that made it bad for me because it's not like it was a terrible movie. But the thing that made it bad for me is it was nowhere near as good or as cinematic or as well done as John Wick.
Oh, I agree with that.
We said that. Okay, so wait a minute. Let me chime in. Wait a minute. Let me chime in because I 100% agree and I 100% know that we said that in the movie that it was very low budget. We made that comment. We made those comments. All those comments that you're knocking, we said that. We said the movie is very low budget. It did not have the budget of a John Wick movie, but it was very, very good for the budget movie they had.
I don't think any parts of it was very, very good, but I will.
For
a low budget movie, you can't tell me what you just
was good, man.
You just gave too many things that reason why it was good. You just gave too many reasons why you liked it.
The villain was bootylicious, but the action scenes were pretty decent.
Can you have a very, very good movie if the main antagonist is super booty? If the first two scenes are super booty and the antagonist is super booty, can you have a very, very good movie even on a low budget?
Man, see, I have this really bad thing called a MacGyver complex where I feel like I can make anything work, And
that's what you're trying to do.
I know, I'm totally MacGyver. I'm totally MacGyver in this thing, man. But there were some really, again, the hallway scene, the robot destructo scene. Those are just good hallmarks. Maybe those are the gems in a turd. But me and Bees both acknowledge that the bad guy was terrible with the blonde hair, and I don't need to see Johnny Knoxville's wiener, But spoiler alert, the sex scene was pretty awesome. She was pretty hot. But anyway, so
now, because y'all got me curious.
The twist. Yes, I ain't gonna say the twist, but the twist at the end did strike me as interesting.
Thank you. Nice, right?
The twist at the end did strike me as interesting, but that's just like, I'm interested in fucking goldfish, like I didn't. But that's
But I'll say this. I'll say this to everybody here and all of our listeners. Man, I cannot wait until John Wick 3 comes out.
Yeah, I think we all can agree on that.
Already got
John Wick 3 is going to be something. Oh man, whew.
Yeah, it's got a lot of pressure on it. It's got a lot of pressure on it.
But John Wick 2 had a lot of pressure on it, and it was, to me, this is almost impossible, but it was better than John Wick 1. I was like, oh my God.
And I do have a spoiler alert for John Wick 3. He does get the Infinity Gauntlet.
He don't need it. He don't need it.
Okay.
He don't need it.
Hey, okay, so I have one question for you. Well, I got one just interesting question for everybody. Even Bees can be in this one.
Alice, before we move on.
Yes.
Hey, Money, let me ask you. What are you giving that on our ranking scale?
Oh yeah.
What was the one? Banana Booty? What was it?
Machine Gun Kelly or Jar Jar Binks?
Jar Jar Binks.
Oh yeah. Oh wow.
It was bad, dude.
Okay.
Jar Jar Binks.
All right, so look, is it bad or is it awesomely bad?
Ooh,
it's not awesomely bad. It's not awesomely bad. Like, you can watch. It's watchable. It's things in it that'll hold your interest. It's things you'll laugh at. But it's nothing in it that makes you say, like, nothing in it even gives you that oh shit moment or that wow moment. Like, except maybe
that hallway scene didn't give you the oh shit. Oh wow!
I had the dude that moment in the hallway scene personally.
Hey,
okay,
I thought the old boy that
you talking about the hallway scene. The hallway scene where he was after he was injured and he was getting out and fighting the little 5 or 6 dudes.
Dude, it was an army of people, Money.
5 or 6 dudes. It was like 40 people.
Yeah, but dude, he was taking people out.
No, in the hallway, it was okay. Maybe it was like 7 or 8 dudes in the hallway, but Maybe it was like 7 or 8 dudes in the hallway. I'm just talking about the hallway portion of the scene because the scene didn't start in the hallway. Yeah,
But Money said 5, y'all said 40, he went up to 7.
Money, did you see like the Danish version of this movie, or did you see the American version?
Nah, I saw the version.
Hey, be honest now.
Here's what I'm saying. The hallway scene that y'all saying didn't start in the hallway. So if you want to say the whole fight scene of where he had to get out of the building, that's one thing. But just the hallway portion of that scene, I wasn't thoroughly impressed. He shot dudes. He shot the little fire extinguisher. He killed.
But how spoiler alert, how he escaped and everything? Come on, man.
But that's not the hallway scene. That's just like.
Okay, let's put it this way: from the capture scene to him escaping through the hallway, that was some good. That was some good shit.
All right, here we go. V's. Hold on. V's. You get V's. Hold on. V's. You get the closing thoughts. I haven't been able to say anything. That's V's. If you would let me talk, I would give you the floor because I was saying you can have the closing thoughts. But you wouldn't give me the floor.
I just wanted to come. I wanted to have more banner with Gerald because
we got to move on, bro.
No, man, let these have his words, man.
That's what I said. He gets the closing thoughts.
Yeah, regular Scott. Hey, regular Scott. I'm gonna talk to you later.
Okay.
What are we gonna talk about, Oz?
I don't know, man. Go ahead, B.
You guys don't understand Money the way I understand them. There's certain things that when you describe that you're gonna go hard on, he can make an argument why it was not as good or whatever as you thought it was, just because he's very, very good at that. Like we could say freaking the New England Patriots is the best dynasty that we've ever seen, and he can pull out 5 points that make it where you end up thinking that the New England Patriots is one of the worst teams that we have ever seen.
Is he as good as Scott at doing that?
You got to take stuff that he said that he disagreed with a grain of salt, because knowing him for the past 20 years, I mean, his opinion of Polar may have been 100% different if me personally didn't say it was a good movie.
Oh.
You seem to say that a lot, V's, but let's move on.
Sir.
He says that with me too, so don't feel bad. But let's move on. Before we get too deep into the show, we got to set the table. This is Take a Knee for Marvel versus DC. I am your host, Regular Scott. As you hear, we are full power. We probably are a little overcharged right now. We got the comic connoisseur, the mighty Ozzy Killmonger.
What is up, good people?
And as you heard, we got my man V's back on the show. Okay. And then we got.
I was muted. God bless and good night.
Are you leaving?
Yeah, y'all about to get into that Endgame, and I'm gonna jump off.
All right. Well, V's, we had him on the beginning because we wanted the audience to hear your voice before you go.
They got me. Y'all have a great conversation. Hey, Money, don't be so disrespectful, okay?
Hey, my bad, dog. You know I had to knock you down 3 pegs on your movie critic list.
On anything. And the bad thing is, I don't even come at you about nothing. I even tagged you in a Christian McCaffrey football thing because he turned to beast mode on you.
He's a beast.
But anyway.
He's a beast. Yeah, I was like, the next time V says something good, I'm gonna ask somebody else is it good too. I'm gonna be like,
well, hey, so I do have a quick question before V leaves.
All right,
real quick, V's.
Go ahead.
Hey, and sorry, just got to bring it up. Who would win between Hawkeye Endgame and John Wick?
Between who?
He hasn't seen Endgame.
Yeah,
that's right. Okay, sorry, V's.
Oh, my gosh. All right, V's, we're going to holler at you,
who went between the guy in Polar and John Wick? The dude in Polar with John Wick's ass. Okay, bye.
No.
Stop it, man.
All right,
we can have a whole show on that.
Yeah, we're not going back to that.
Nah. I know. See,
all
right?
And look, we also have Movie Man Migs on. Migs, what's going on?
What's happening, gentlemen? Appreciate y'all having me on the show.
And then we
Hope
got
everybody's good.
We got from the flagship Money on from the Defy Life podcast. What's going on, Money?
Yes, sir.
How y'all doing, man?
As you heard, Money came on strong.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's how we do it. Shout out to my Defy Life co-host. What's up?
Yeah,
Shout out
hey,
to all the
plug what you want.
listeners.
Plug what you want. My bad, Migs. I didn't even let you plug none. Y'all boys plug what y'all want.
Hey, shout out to the network real fast. We doing big things over here. So no matter what flavor you want, we got a flavor for you. Go to defylife.com and we got a show for you. But our show is the Defy Life podcast. We doing a lot of big things over there on the show, man. Check us out on everywhere your favorite podcasts are downloaded, man. But we prefer Stitcher and Speaker.
Go ahead, Migs.
All right, well, what's up, y'all? It's Migs here. You can check me out on the Defy Life Network at the Movies with Migs tab. I just dropped a new review. Book Smart is coming out in a couple weeks. Funny movie. Check that out. Check out some of my other reviews on there. Got the videos on the Facebook page, Instagram also. Both Movies with Migs. So yeah, get at me.
And you can find us at Need for Marvel vs. DC on Twitter, also Instagram and Facebook. And you can email us at needformarvel vs. DC at GoDefyLife. We got a new email. So they upgraded us. We finally got an upgrade. A little renovation, you know. I think we still waiting on our free T-shirts though. Money, what you gonna do about that for us?
Oh yeah, man, for real.
We're gonna make something happen for you. Y'all, they got gear out there already. Isn't y'all gear out there already?
No, we said free T-shirts.
Oh, free T-shirts. Oh, okay. I didn't know they were supposed to be free.
Yeah. I was just wondering if you heard anything about it.
Nah, Jay and I have a talk.
I didn't know if he had sent you with a message. You know what I mean? I was just checking.
True that.
All right. I got a couple news tidbits, and then we're gonna get right into Endgame because that's gonna be big. So speaking of Endgame, the Vision Wanda series, which is going to be on Disney Plus, is set to be in the 50s.
Wow.
So, Migs, let me start with you. Do you think this is going to be something that Wanda creates? Scarlet Witch, for some people who don't know who Wanda is. Do you think that's going to be something she creates in her mind, kind of like a House of M type thing? Or do you think this is like they're going to be time traveling? What do you think's going on?
Well, I didn't even hear about no Scarlet Witch and Vision series, so you got my eyes bugged right now. And you said it's set in the 50s?
That's the rumor. That's the rumor.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't get that. Why would it be set in the 50s?
The only thing I can think of is that it's an alternate reality that she creates in her mind, maybe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess, but that's just the 50s. That's such a weird time period to. Yeah.
Or they time travel and it's really Jarvis.
Yeah, he is based on Jarvis. That's true.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
If they doing a whole time traveling thing, if that's what they doing, but I don't know. That just seems kind of weird.
It's gotta be in our mind because the actual Jarvis is still alive in the 50s.
Oh, right.
That's true too.
Yeah, that's just, I don't know. I guess we have to see how that plays out. That just sounds like kind of a weird concept.
Yeah, that is a very random time period. If it's true.
Set in the 50s.
Yeah, it's a very.
Oh, what? So what? We're not going to be able to like eat beside them because we're going to have to sit in the back of the table and in the back of the counter and everything.
You know, god daggone well, they're not going to show that. They're not going to show that in a Disney film.
Is that why they chose the 50s on purpose for this reason?
They're going to have the all-white Vision just to make sure.
Oh, they're definitely going to have the all-white Vision for real, dude. For real right there. Please.
Yeah, that's terrible, man.
That's terrible.
The Ghost Rider from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is supposedly getting his own TV show on Hulu Plus.
What the?
Now that I did see, but yeah, not getting ready to get Hulu Plus for that.
No. And why wouldn't you put that on the Disney Plus network? Or is Hulu Plus a part of Disney Plus?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know.
They must have some. It must be. Well, I don't know. Maybe there's some licensing agreements. 'Cause I thought the whole Disney thing was them just trying to, completely shut down the market and have their own stuff and have everybody buy that. Because I was talking to somebody else about the whole Disney thing since they acquired all the Fox properties and all that. Is all that stuff going to be taken off of Netflix?
Oh, they're doing
that's getting off Netflix. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They about to have Netflix going to have to do something with like Sony and Columbia and stuff. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Netflix has a big hit on their hands with the Umbrella Academy. That's as far as like the numbers that they put out. They don't put out actual numbers for us, but what they give us, they said it's been as popular or as viewed as many times as Stranger Things, which was a big series for them as well. So they at least have a couple original shows that work for them.
They still got a strong.
Oh yeah. I mean, they got the shows and all that. I just mean like movie wise.
Oh,
like,
right.
Lose a lot of their library because Disney gonna be like, nah, we taking all the Fox stuff. Y'all ain't showing this.
And look, and according to Money, if all you left with is Polar, that ain't gonna cut it.
No, not at all.
Wow.
Contractually, though, I think Netflix will be okay. They can't just kill those contracts, and even though they have an acquisition, they still can't kill those contracts. And if I were Netflix, I would take some of that $50.8 billion that they make a year and negotiate a new contract to still carry those shows.
Oh yeah, exactly. And also, man, you got to worry about Apple too, trying to do their own network thing too.
Yeah, you're right, because they got a lot of people involved with that as well.
Yeah,
everybody's trying to get a piece of the pie, man. But that's just good for the consumer. The more, the merrier, so you can have some really good content and stuff.
Right. And the consumers aren't going to just not like we don't want a war where like you have to pick and choose which streaming service to have. Like we enjoy the cross branding of the programming that we can see. So
I ain't trying to get down with no Comcast, dude. Not anymore. No.
Right. If they start that, they'll start to remind people of the cable wars and the dish wars, and people aren't like they left those industries to not have to deal with that. So I don't think that's a game they want to play too tough, but we'll see.
Yeah, I totally agree because like I for one, I'm willing to have my DC universe crash on me when I'm trying to watch a movie because I know they'll make it better. But I'm not trying to have any of this silly Verizon, Comcast, still getting no service kind of, nonsense. Right. But we'll see what's up. All I know is I've been saying it. Man, Disney is just trying to kill the game for what it is to be like for your childhood. Star Wars, Marvel, good Lord, dude.
Yeah, they got it on lock, man. I mean, but Disney, they get all the money from us all the time.
Yeah, man, they copyrighted our childhood.
But it's like they, most of the stuff that they put out is good. Even they got Marvel now. It's under them, which they're not necessarily like writing for that stuff, but they still making money off of it.
Yep.
I mean, and Star Wars that's always going to make money. Disney movies, but they movies been pretty good though. Like the straight Disney stuff, because
Pixar Studio, all that shit's amazing.
Yeah, The Incredibles 2 was dope. What I just watched, the Wreck-It Ralph 2 was dope.
Yeah,
they got some live action coming out this year that looked pretty good. I wasn't really feeling Dumbo, but it was good for the kids. So they gonna make money one way or another.
There's no question about that. It's gonna be an interesting thing when all these, because that's what the platform's going to. How long do you guys think cable will be around?
Cable's a dinosaur, man.
That's what I mean. Like how much longer? How many more years do you give cable?
I mean, what are we talking though? We talking just like talking satellite service. You talking a box. You talking like Comcast. You talking like DirecTV. What you mean?
I'm talking like all of it. Like, when do you think it's just going to be strictly streaming services? Even like live TV. I think that'll end up going somehow to a streaming service of some way.
I mean, I think that maybe some of these companies. Like, I would have thought, like, DirecTV would have got smart by now and let you kind of pick packages.
Right.
To where they could get a niche in on the game, because I'd love that. But they still haven't done that yet. So I got a Fire Stick. I use that.
See what I mean? Like, that's what I mean right there.
But, you know, when you really look at it, though, if you really look at your habits and stuff, we've been paying for a lot of junk this whole time, and we don't really watch. Like, most people only watch, I'd give them maybe 10 channels tops that you
if even that much, dude.
Yeah, if even that still too. You know, you might have stuff you catch here and there on stuff, but most people probably got about 5 or 6 channels that, okay, my shows come on here, or the sports come on here, or this come on this channel, so I watch it on there. And it's just like, look, let us, you know, make little custom packages. I mean, you don't I'm pretty sure they're not gonna let people be like, okay, I just want 3 channels and that's it. But don't nobody need no 180 channels.
Well, see, their whole game has always been, you know, we know you are watching 5 to 6, you know, even maybe, like you said, even maybe 10, right? But their whole game has been, but your 10 that you're watching, you're paying for all the other bullshit.
Right.
You know? Yeah, it's just like, and they're rationing by going, your 10 is different from your 10, which is different from your 10, but it's still all garbage. And to answer your question, Regular Scott, let's call it maybe 15 more years, right? But still, man, them fools have like lobbying groups, so they gonna still have a hand in stuff because you still got to get your internet through them fools. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't mean fools either, because you guys are awesome because you can provide me internet for the podcast right now. So don't cut it off yet. You know,
a bit of sad news.
As being the only guy on the call that's actually worked in that industry before I went to software, I can tell you that they're worried. About they're definitely worried. In fact, they are beginning to offer their own competing streaming services. The cable industries are, because they're losing a lot of customers to that industry. So Spectrum, which used to be Time Warner, which is kind of my world, they still made $44 billion last year, and I think they made around $46 billion the year before that, and their revenue had increased 5.6%. So that's mostly because they're finding a way to influx a price here or there, or charge you an extra $4 for
lock you in a contract
piece of equipment or whatever the case may be. So they're still finding ways, but it's creative ways to increase revenue. I can tell you that they lose subscribers, and they're losing them at an alarming rate. But that's how companies like Netflix goes from making $2 billion a year to making $15 billion a year, because there are many people that no longer have like cable television services. They just use it for internet.
Yep.
So they'll have to find a way. But you're right. Cable is a dying industry. I think like it's. I think it'll go the way of the actual in-house telephone? Absolutely. So like I guess like when we were growing up, all of us had an in-house telephone.
Right.
Now I can probably name on one hand the amount of people that I know with the in-home telephone.
Right.
So I think it'll probably go along that lines in the next 15 years with the more technological advances that we make on the ability of our internet.
So everybody it seems like everybody's kind of saying, well, Migs, did you say a year? I know Oz and Money both said 15 years.
I mean, I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens. I think in 15 years that Disney's about to own everything anyway, so it ain't gonna matter.
That's probably true.
Yeah, I mean, 45 billion ain't nothing to sneeze at, and that's just Spectrum. That's not talking Charter and Comporium and Adelphi and all that.
Every other single other one too.
Yeah, that's just like for being in $100 billion a year industry ain't nothing. Like it takes longer than that to die.
And also they're trying to hold off the flood too, because once the consensus is that we should start doing fiber optics, broadband, that's going to start changing things too, man, because that's just going to just increase the speed of stuff. We're going to be like, see you later. I'm good.
Man, they holding that stuff back. I'm telling you. We should have been had that, because when I first moved back to Maryland, the area that I lived at, they was telling me, oh, well, we don't got the fiber optics yet, but in 8 years, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, y'all over here BSing with this fiber optic stuff. Right. Y'all trying to give us a little bit. They could probably do all this stuff that we talking about. They probably could have did that a long time ago, but we getting little bits and pieces.
Yeah. Well, they can and they can't. So they have the fiber optics lines that most of them are laid. But the net neutrality laws that the Trump administration reversed, that the Obama administration passed, has a lot to do with that. Like now they can legally throttle your speeds.
I know, dude.
And
man, it's garbage, man. That's what I'm saying. Yo, they screwing with us for real.
Vote. Let me just say this, man. What does it mean to throttle a fire department? What does that mean, dude?
because they still own the network, right? They still own the
bizarrest, craziest thing in the world to me.
They still own the physical equipment that this stuff is traveling on, so they can physically slow it down to make you like. So in theory, like if they don't want you to go to xyz.com, they just throttle it down and make you go to wherever they want you to go to because it's faster. Because people don't like to wait. So, like, it gives you an unfair advantage. So that's. I just want you guys to know that's legal now. It didn't used to be legal, but now it's legal. And so that's just one of the things that can happen. So if your internet provider can do weird things to your speeds and your signal to kind of point you where they want you to be.
Yep.
So that's a thing.
Little doggy with a bone. Come here, doggy. Yeah, man. Come on, man.
This might be the most intelligent conversation we've ever had on this show.
Well, a lot of it has to do with your silence, regular Scott. So we appreciate that. So
shots fired.
Boom.
Shots fired. God, I deserve that for the blind side with money. I deserve that.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
I deserve that. All right. All right. So before we get in the end game, I got one game that I told you it was going to become a weekly fixture on our podcast.
Okay.
It's called One's Gotta Go.
Do I get to play?
Absolutely.
I was so excited.
It's called One's Gotta Go, and it's going to be a weekly thing on this show because I think it's a great game.
Hey, regular Scott, tell them they got it. They're gone forever.
Yes.
Cannot ever bring them back.
So I'm going to give you 4 choices. Migs, Money, and Oz. I'm going to give you 4 choices. One of these choices.
I was on y'all last week as I was listening to the show.
Oh, would you? So actually, I'll ask you after I do this one. But one of these has to go. It's never been created. Everything about it cannot exist. Okay? So it's completely wiped from memory. It's a snap from the Infinity Gauntlet, and it's gone. So here are your 4 choices. Since we're doing Avengers, I figured why not make it Avengers theme. So the first Avengers, I'm not putting Age of Ultron in there. Instead, I'm going to put Captain America Civil War.
What?
Infinity War and Endgame.
Wait a minute. You said Endgame.
Yep.
Infinity War, Captain America,
Civil War.
Civil War?
Mm-hmm. And the Avengers. Now, I put Captain America Civil War in there because that's the first introduction we get of Black Panther, the new Spider-Man. A lot of big moments in that movie. So, and that kind of sets off Infinity War because they're split apart. Everybody's their separate ways. There's a lot of big moments. So one of those 4 has to go. Whoever wants to go first, the floor is yours.
I'm letting our guests go first.
I'm not taking that one first.
Look, if we gonna do that, then I'm gonna shock y'all with this one.
Oh boy.
Get rid of Endgame.
Wow, that's a big one right there. That's a bold statement right there.
Man,
No,
that is Migs, I'm gonna tell you.
And I say this because do something else then. If we just gonna get rid of it completely, since that's the last one, just do something else then.
That's not a bad answer. A little bit of a cop out, but not a bad answer.
No, hey, that's a purely logical. It
is. You're right. It is. You're right. It is.
That's a very logical answer.
Cop out, Midge.
I mean, okay. Now, in my second choice for that would be Civil War then, because if we're gonna look at it like that, just give me the Avengers movies. Even though I consider Civil War an Avenger movie, I'll just take those first three like that.
Okay.
You're gonna do all that. Maybe saying getting rid of Endgame is a little too bold right now.
Okay. Money, what you got?
All right. So my choices are Avengers 1,
Yep.
right? Civil War,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
and Infinity War, and Endgame.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And one has to go.
One has
And
to
it's
go.
gone forever.
Man, God, they were all such excellent movies, and I'm just going based on the strength of how good of a movie it was.
Right.
I don't want to, that's all I'm thinking about. So that's tough, but I would have to say, wow. I'd have to say the first Avengers.
And I like that too.
I'd
have to say the first Avengers. Civil War gave me my first movie where it brought the whole, everybody was there. Everybody was there, so I can't get rid of that one. I can't get rid of Infinity War, and I can't get rid of Endgame for reasons that I will explain later.
Oz.
I love all those answers. Regular Scott, man, once again, I'm pretty pissed off at you. Why couldn't you just say Age of Ultron? Because that would have been an easy one for me. Man,
that's an underrated movie. I'm going to stand by my statement that is a very underrated movie in the MCU.
It is. That movie's just not good. As good as the rest of them, but we'll take it.
Now, okay, so I will say, yeah, man, I am going to say the first Avengers, and I'll say it because of this. I don't want to get rid of Endgame because there's too much interesting stuff is happening. I cannot get rid of Captain America: Civil War because you got a taste of Black Panther, and everybody was hungry for it, starving for it, and it happened. And you got an amazing fight scene out of that too. The whole the bad guy, whatever. But the whole thing, other than that, was awesome. It was great. It left a lot to my imagination. I feel like if you get rid of the Avengers, the first Avengers movie, you can still form the Avengers up later, though.
Okay.
So mine is definitely the first Avengers gone.
Wow. Snapped out of existence. Okay, I got it. I heard the snap.
One more time, right?
Okay.
Hey, Regular Scott, what you got to say about this?
I'm gonna be honest with you.
And don't be contrary either, man.
I'm not. I'm gonna tell you where I was first leaning. I was first leaning towards Infinity War for this reason.
Wow.
For this reason. Imagine going into Endgame and you just seeing the opening credits, or not opening, just seeing the opening scene with no context. Then they cut 5 years later, and you start seeing all the missing people and why they went at him like that. Why Thor's so angry and cuts his head off.
I like that.
I think Endgame could have worked without Infinity War, but Money said that he was basing this just purely off the movie itself, and I think Infinity War is a strong movie in the MCU, and I'd probably have to get rid of Captain America: Civil War.
Well, but see here, before you even justify, but like if you got rid of Endgame, just for saying, if you got rid of Endgame, you still have a strong movie. You just have a fucked up ending.
Yeah, you're right, but I think Endgame's ending is what propels it. You know what I mean? The satisfaction you get from finally seeing all these characters, not only get their moments, but get their story arcs completed. So that's why I was leaning towards Infinity War, because I think it would have been a cool concept to just kind of be thrown into Endgame and be like, what in the world is going on?
You still got a crazy ass answer for Captain America: Civil War, though.
I would take that one out because I think you could do everything that you did without it. Like, I think Spider-Man would have been fine if he was introduced in Far From Home, and you got this little recap he gave you in his movie anyway. I think Black Panther would have been fine in his movie if that was the first time you saw him. They were big moments, but I don't think they were game-changing moments.
Right, but then where does Bucky leave off, though?
I think that should have been the TV series. Going to get Bucky. That could have been a whole Disney Plus series.
I'm not hating on that. For once, you might have a point. May. Slight.
I actually thought my answer out this time.
I just thought Civil War was a strong movie. I couldn't.
It was great.
No, I don't think there's a wrong answer.
Out of those four movies, the first Avengers is the weakest of those movies.
Absolutely, dude.
And it was a really good movie. It was a really good movie. It was a really good movie, but out of those four movies, it's the weakest movie.
But
Migs, what you got to say about that, Migs?
I do not agree. And I just had a conversation with Gino last night about how freaking awesome the first Avengers was. Like, okay, I'm looking at a poster that I have when I went to this thing before it came out because somebody I knew, what was it? They worked for Acura. Acura had cars in that movie and stuff, so we got to see it early. Dude, I'm sorry, but I was blown away by Avengers. I can watch this freaking movie all day. The first Avengers is just that is a true comic book movie. I mean, I like the other ones. I like Civil War, but Civil War wasn't even Civil War. Like, I didn't like that title for that movie. I really didn't. I think they should have called it something else. Like maybe Disassembled or something. I don't know. It wasn't Civil War. I mean, no,
Disassembled actually would have been.
It doesn't mean the movie was weak.
No, I'm not saying it doesn't mean the movie is weak. I'm just saying that I didn't like the title that they called it Civil War because I thought it was something else. And then it was just kind of, I thought it was more of okay, you guys got a vehicle so y'all can introduce two characters. Okay, fine. But really, like I said, beyond that, the whole Baron Zemo thing, yeah. I didn't really like what they did with that. I thought that was kind of too much for that guy to do just on his own like that with all those people on the team on both sides, and y'all got duped by this little freaking dude. Like, come on, man.
Well, I'm gonna say this: the first Avengers movie, man, it is a good movie, and I was like cheering, excited. But Captain America's uniform was horrific.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It was the worst, and I'm like, man, dude, come on, man. And I didn't really like some of the fight scenes in the first one, but man, Civil War, dude, it just hit me hard because I got to see Spider-Man in action. There was some good banter and all that too. It was good.
Civil War brought it.
There was some good banter and all that. It was great, dude. And man, and for me personally, seeing Black Panther hold his own and be badass in and out of his costume, I was done. I was through. I was like, yes, sir.
I think that's one of the keys to Civil War is it's got a lot of iconic moments, and there's a lot of things you're going to remember from that movie, Civil War. I mean, there's the
Ant-Man growing tall.
Yep, I was just about to say Ant-Man growing. I mean, those are things they talked about, but you didn't think you were going to see it. Then you see it, and they're fighting the other Avengers.
It was crazy.
It
was crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Watching the Avengers fight each other was insane. The fight scene at the end between Iron Man and Bucky was epic. So that was good. Like, that was a dope fight. The end was dope. Yeah. Like with Captain America, him and Bucky, that was dope because they was really going at it. When they fought at the airport, the only person that was really, really trying to go hard was freaking Black Panther because he was pissed. Everybody else, and whatchamacallit, she was trying to go hard. Scarlet Witch, she told Hawkeye to go hard, but. Granted, but how hard you really gonna go after people you done saved the world with? You really got love for these people. Y'all all friends. Like, you know you're not going hard because you're really not trying to hurt each other. But see, that's what I mean. I can completely see that. That's why I said they shouldn't call it Civil War. Because if you read the Civil War comics and that storyline, that wasn't no friendly spat. Let's spar. Oh, we gotta, I ain't gonna hit you that hard. Pull punches. Nah, these dudes, that was a damn war for real. That was a whole freaking event. People died in that shit.
Well, but that was after they brought the mechanical Thor in and he killed Goliath, though. Like before that, they weren't really. I just, it's cool. It was cool seeing it. I love that airport scene. I just didn't think it was as hard as people thought it was. I thought the last fight scene was the toughest part of the whole damn movie.
Well, I will say this in Civil War, but wasn't the original destruction was from Nitro killing killing that town and the New Warriors.
They were doing
that was a big.
He at the beginning of the story he blows up that whole thing, and that's where they set that.
But I do, Migs. I like the fact that that was his mark, and they fucked up. They should have called it Disassemble. That was brilliant. That's awesome.
Yeah,
but I mean, just the fight scenes between the Avengers versus Civil War. Civil War blew shit out, dude. It was great.
I don't think there's a wrong answer to this question, but
look,
I think
we just gonna get rid of Ultron and just make Captain America.
Hey, look, that's why I didn't put it in there. That's why I didn't put it in there.
Yeah, y'all know I didn't like that one anyway.
Yeah, I knew everyone would have picked that one. It would have been
Ultron had some cool moments, but they really ruined Ultron in that movie, and it was just a disservice to the character.
Hey, you know what? Yeah. Let's jump into our Endgame discussion, and I want to since we're on the Ultron movie, I want to talk about a specific moment in that. Spoiler alert for the rest of the podcast. And if you haven't seen Endgame by now, I don't know.
Don't listen to this until you do.
Yeah, we about to
turn it off now because I don't want to hear about none of y'all typing those salty comments to the podcast about this, that, and the third. Because I've seen all these people, they want to stay on social media when they know the movie done came out and want to be complaining, but yet they don't want to stay off of social media.
I went black for a couple days. I went black on social media.
Yeah, I did too. I mean, you got like people got this entitlement to where they think like the internet is the wild, wild west. You can't control the internet, and people are assholes. So you have to control your actions. So don't be staying on social media roaming everything, and then when you see something, you want to be complaining about it.
Right.
People be posting spoilers and stuff that don't even have nothing to do with movies. That's just how asshole they are. Right. I got caught with The Force Awakens. When it came out, I was like, all right, let me chill and not be on stuff. But I was still going in comment sections, and I went on a sports page in the comment section, and they had the whole damn Han Solo death scene right there. And when I seen it, I was like, shit, that's real. And I was like, damn it. And when it started happening in the movie, I already knew. I was like, yep, here it goes right there. I could tell by the lighting and all that other stuff.
Well, there you go. There's a spoiler alert 2 more times, just in case you didn't hear it the first couple times. I'm going to play it one more time. It's right there. All right, here we go. Oh, so Age of Ultron, what I wanted to bring up was I saw an interesting theory about Captain America lifting the hammer. And there are some that are saying, actually I heard this on Watch Mojo, that Captain America was pretending that he couldn't lift the hammer in Age of Ultron. And he knew he could lift it when he kind of budged it a little bit.
Oh, yeah, and Thor did too. Yeah.
And Thor did too. So has he been worthy this entire time? He just is like, I'm not trying to. That's not me. That's not my weapon. This is Thor's thing. Because he would do something like he would not take it just because.
I'm not buying that theory.
I like.
Well, I'm not buying that theory either. Go ahead.
And you know why I'm not buying that theory? Because you can't have Cap pick up the hammer and have Vision pick up the hammer in the same movie.
Vision's not a person though. It's almost like the hammer being in the elevator.
You still can't do that because the part with Vision was like a shock moment too. Wasn't nobody expecting that? What Cap? You got the little shock, like he moved it, like shit, that was kind of cool. But then Vision handed it to him. Everybody was like, oh shit, like what the hell?
Well, the whole thing about Captain, if that whoever had that theory, is just this. Well, Thor purposely got Magellan, or he purposely got his other hammer because he knew that thing. I don't know about Cap knowing he was worthy or not. And besides that, Cap would never have access to the hammer only when Thor's around. Now, it's not like he could. You know what I mean? That's the whole thing about it's no point to him like ever finding out. You know what I mean? Unless Thor's around him.
I say that because he also posted a video of Joss Whedon doing an interview after that movie came out, and a fan asked him, "Why is Steve Rogers not worthy to lift the hammer?" And Joss Whedon's response was, "Who said he's not worthy? And how do you know he just didn't want to lift the hammer?" That was his response in an interview in like 2015. That's the only reason I bring it up.
Well, also, my feeling was that he just stopped on his own too.
That's what I thought.
I thought it was a nod to the actual Captain America lifting the hammer and fighting with it in the comics. Like I just thought it was, like I thought it had its place because that happened in the comics.
It might not have been nothing more than that. I just thought it was an interesting interview to bring up since he did end up picking it up.
I thought it was an interesting nod. I was actually waiting for it to happen because I wasn't sure. But it happened, and I enjoyed that. Yeah,
it was great.
I didn't think twice about it. I knew what happened in the comics, so
Yeah, no doubt. All right, so let's dive into it. Let's talk full on spoilers. Favorite moments, least favorite moments, things you didn't like. Oz, I know you had a couple strong opinions about some things.
Well, yeah, always. I'll start off with this. I mean, this is my one that just killed me. And I know it's for the movie people who don't read comics, whatever. The Hulk can heal from pretty much anything. I have no idea why he was still in the arm cast during the funeral. So that just was, and also when he let Cap go back into the past, I have no idea why that happened. That was just weird to me.
I guess they were showing how powerful it was. What you know what I thought was weird, because I have to go back and watch this. All right, I don't remember the gauntlet like tearing you up when you first put it on. Now when it surged with the snap, yeah, but in Infinity War it didn't do that. It kind of surged a little bit and then he was fine. But then in Endgame, as soon as they put it on, all the gems like started burning the Hulk's arm up, and I was like,
right,
why the heck did that happen? Because in the first one, it didn't happen to him like that. He only got burned up when he said that he tried to destroy the stones. When he put it on, it just kind of surged and he was good. So I was like, what the hell's going on?
I do have an argument for that. I don't know if this is true or not, but when Thanos was wearing the gauntlet and getting the gems, he was putting them on one at a time. So it was almost like he was getting accustomed to the power and getting stronger with each gem. The Hulk in them are putting it on full on, all the gems at once, and that could just be like a power overload that they haven't experienced before, while Thanos is getting a small dosage each time. You know what I mean? That would be my only argument for it.
I mean, that makes sense. But at the end, all right, at the end of Endgame, it's full on gauntlet. They got all the stones are in there. He puts it on his arm and it just charges.
That's a good point. That's a good point. No, that's a good point.
It doesn't burn his arm all up. He pulls one out of there and it did. He can touch one of them. That's fine. But what I'm saying is the whole thing didn't burn his arm up. He just put it on and it was like, bam, okay, surge a little bit and good to go. So that's why I was wondering where the whole burn the whole arm thing came up, especially with the Hulk.
Yeah.
No, that's a good point. I didn't think you're right about the Endgame version.
That's a good point.
Yeah, no, you're right. That's a good point, Migs. That's why you movie man.
Was that a point of aggravation for you, Migs?
I just thought it was kind of weird that they kind of did that. I mean, I wouldn't really say it was a point of aggravation. I was more aggravated that the Hulk didn't really do much with the Hulk as far as fighting.
I know.
See more of him with that, but
Right.
you know, I get it. They had him doing the smart thing,
but you could have saw have him actually fighting smart. You know.
Yeah, I mean, they showed up. You know, he got a little bit, but they ain't really. You know.
I did appreciate seeing Giant Man punch the shit out of that alien ship.
That was awesome.
That was
was awesome.
And I'll tell you another one.
If you check, because I caught some stuff today I didn't see before, him running around in the background doing stuff during that fight.
Oh yeah, I do. And also another gem to me was, man, I did love when Falcon stabbed that one dude with his wings. That was amazing.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty dope.
That might be Falcon's first big on-screen kill.
Cool, at least cool ass kill. You know what I mean?
No, that might just be his first big on-screen kill, like a big kill, not just some random goon.
Yeah,
right. I would agree.
Yeah.
Because he beats up some goon, but no, that was a dope scene too. So let me ask you, when Captain America started whooping up on that dude with the hammer, and then all of a sudden Thanos still beats him, what was going through your minds?
Oh, I loved it. That was a nasty ass choke slam, and I loved it.
It was nasty.
Yeah. I loved that choke slam. I was like, yes, because it's just like, look, Thanos is that dude. All right, people don't understand. Thanos is that dude. Like, that's why he's one of the freaking most powerful characters on Marvel vs. Capcom 2. That's why he's got 4 specials, or he might even have 5 over everybody. There's only a couple people that got 4 or 5 specials. He's one of them for a reason. So that choke slam that he gave Cap, that sat his ass down, yeah.
Right. I was thinking, my God, how strong is this dude?
Mm-hmm.
He took on everybody. The only one that overpowered him was Captain Marvel. He just outsmarted her.
Right.
Yo, when he bopped her, I cheered. I'm not even gonna lie.
I'm not a Captain Marvel fan, though. I think she was portrayed very well in the movie. I thought her.
I like Super Saiyan Carol. She's dope.
I'm not a fan of the Super Saiyan thing, but I liked her in the movie.
I like Super Saiyan Carol.
I also enjoyed the all girls moment. I thought that shit was dope.
That was awesome.
That shit was dope.
When Wasp grew up and she started adjusting her things and was looking around, she put on a little grin. That was great.
Yeah,
that was great. That's awesome.
Yeah, that was a great moment.
I really do. They need to run with that. I mean, just because the team in the comics has some heavy hitters.
I need a She-Hulk though. I need She-Hulk for a team like that.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. They could do something with that, and that might even serve as a good show.
Yeah, I would agree.
So we'll see. I hope they just ain't teasing that, because when that happened, I was like, oh snap! I was like, is this A-Force? Okay, let's go.
Yeah, that was awesome. It was great.
Now
one,
go ahead, Money.
Go ahead.
No, you got it, Money.
I was gonna say I was just about to say, man, because I want to get this out, man. I want to get this out because I told my colleagues and my coworkers and everything. So, and I'm not ashamed to say this, but so during this movie, I probably cried 3 or 4 times during the movie.
Dude, I probably cried the last hour.
Let me say something to you. I was tearing up myself during the movie, so there ain't no shame in the game, dude. Okay.
I just wanted to listen to I'm talking pouring down big tears, and one of my colleagues was like, I don't even think there were 3 opportunities in the movies to cry. I was like, I must be gifted then, because I was bawling, yo. I was like, what?
Money. Go back and tell your colleague that one opportunity, for me at least, was when Cap was on the ground. his ass beaten up, but he knew. He said that he had to get back up. He was mustering to get back up, and you hear Sam's voice
on your left,
dude. Man, I was like, oh man, that was it for me, dude. I was like, because all the
that
troops
one
started
got me
rallying.
some tears too. That one took some tears out.
The troops started rallying, dude. That was tight, dude. That was it.
Awesome. That was an iconic.
That was my big tear moment. Like that was like that was the moment that had me crying the most. Like when I like because it like the battle was like it was futile. Like Thanos was just too, and then he unleashed the army, and then you saw Cap like
by himself
with his whole Neo thing. Like I just gotta get back. Like why do you keep getting up? Like I just felt like Thanos was like, why do you keep getting up? He has no more. He's got like half a shield, and he's like
money
stabbed through his leg.
Yeah, as Cap said several times, I can do this all day.
Absolutely. I thought he was gonna say it. I thought he was gonna say it, and maybe that would have stopped me from crying, but he didn't. He just and then I heard something. And it was like, Cap, on your right. And I was like, what? And from that moment, the tears was just... I have to watch the movie 5 more times because I probably cried through the next 10 minutes. Like,
and then you hear, give me the gauntlet from Black Panther. Oh man,
I'm glad Black Panther got his moment. I'm glad he got a moment.
All the teamwork, everything, dude. And by the way, here's another thing too. It was very smart what they did in the movie. Man, Hawkeye, normal little humanoid Hawkeye, he was one who held the gauntlet. He held it down for everybody for a long time, dude.
Yeah.
He probably had it the longest.
Yeah.
He saved everyone.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
The human of them all probably had the toughest battle. I mean, he had to fight those monsters by himself.
The most non-powered one was the one that saved all the powered ones.
You're right. Hey, Money. Speaking of you, of the crying thing, man. I think it's because I'm about to become a father. So at the end, when Happy asked Iron Man's daughter, what do you want? Do you want anything to eat? And she's like, I'm hungry. I want a cheeseburger. And he said, your daddy loved cheeseburgers too. That joint hit me pretty bad.
I
think it's because I'm becoming a father. I think I'm getting softer. So
well, it hit me pretty bad too because
it hit me too.
I didn't like when Happy said, "I'll get you all the cheeseburgers you want." I was like, "Don't make that girl fat, dude. Don't make that girl fat."
Fellas, I have to admit to y'all, I did not shed one single tear watching the movie whatsoever. I didn't. I got choked up a little bit. A couple scenes. The scenes that really hit me was the Ant-Man scenes when he seen that memorial with all those, because that looks just like the Peace and Justice Museum in Alabama, and that's real. So that hit me because I've been there, and I was like, dang, that's kind of eerie. And then when he seen his daughter and she was grown up, which I got questions about that too, because she was only like 8 or 9 in the last Ant-Man and Wasp joint. So it's like, hold up, she only supposed to be 13 or something. She looked like she was about 17. And like, who in that house with her? Yo,
she looked 13.
She looked 13. Nah, she looked a little bit older than 13.
She looked like 13.
You seen these new 13-year-olds? Okay,
yeah, right,
so I was in the pool, right? And it was this little boy in there. In fact, I didn't even know it was a little boy. I had to fucking ask him. Like, he was cussing everybody out so badly that I was like, well, he must be a grown man. So he gets out of the pool. He bigger than me. Right? No, I'm saying, like, he bigger than me. And I was like, hey, man, how old are you? He's like, I'm 12. I said, you 12? He's like, yeah, I'm 12. I said, well, watch your damn mouth then. What is wrong with you? Well, I'm look, for real. Like, that's so... These little 12 and 13-year-olds, I'm saying he looked like a grown. I'm telling you, these little 12 and 13-year-olds ain't normal 12 and 13-year-olds no more. Because when I was 12, I was little. Like I was.
You looked like you were 12.
Hey, I hear you there, bro.
Yeah, I looked like I was 12. So that's what I'm saying. She looked 13 to me.
I don't know. I guess when I first seen her, I was like, "What the hell?" I was like, "How old is she?"
It's probably because of how tall she was, wasn't it?
She's tall.
She was taller than Paul
but
Rudd.
she a tall, gangly 13-year-old
Her
dude.
face just looked it looked more teenager than preteen.
She's
That's all.
a volleyball star. That's all.
I mean, but that choked me up though. I'm not gonna lie.
I get that.
People.
I'm here for
People
that.
were freaking full on. Like I heard that the second time. No, the first time we seen it, I heard a lot of sobbing and stuff. And then when we seen it at the Space Center. You could hear sniffling and sobbing and all that. Somebody was full on like, damn, yo, like
yeah, you can't do all that. Not in the theater. You gotta cover your mouth up or something.
Look, hey man, I'm not mad at people for their emotions and expressing it, because that's for me right there. It's like, even though it didn't hit me like that, if a movie can do that to people, that's a good ass movie. That's some good writing right there.
No. Respect you on that, Migs, but I am mad at people that bring their 1 and 2 year old babies to movie theaters.
Oh, dude, don't get me, man. You gonna have me going You gonna give me PTSD, man? Stop it.
Because I'm gonna tell you, I went there with my wife and my 9-year-old. He knows the rules, dude. When we see movies, and man, if not one, but 2 separate people brought their little children into the theater.
Yeah, man.
And they were crying. I was like, what the dude? Come on, man.
Yeah, it's one thing with little kids, but with babies, it's like, look, it's a baby.
Dude.
You can't shush a baby. If a baby gonna cry, it's gonna cry unless you gotta give him something to eat or something. It's just like,
you better bring your wife and put him on the tit.
Right. It's like, look, I get it. You want to see the movie, you can't find a sitter maybe, but
wow,
with that right there, you gotta be considerate of other people, man. On opening night for a movie like that, it's gonna be packed. You can't.
Yo, it goes like this. This is how it goes. Hey, you take the kids, and I'm gonna see the opening night, and then you can come the next night. That's how it goes, dude. Or you can come to the 2 o'clock. I'll go to the 3 o'clock. Y'all got to do something for that, man. You cannot come as a couple with your 1 and 2 year old babies making noises.
Leah baby's at home, man.
Yeah,
Leave
please.
the babies at home. Hey, look. So a couple.
Hey, that is a PSA. That's a PSA right now. Okay.
A couple of little small things I noticed. Peter Quill. That's his first time on Earth since being abducted. Is that correct?
Oh, wait, hold on. Let's think.
Let me think.
Is that his first time back on Earth since being abducted?
Did they go in?
No, dude.
I thought they were on Earth in Guardians 2.
In Guardians 2, he was on Earth, right? Yeah.
Was he on Earth?
I thought they were on Earth for a little minute. Maybe.
Was he on Earth though, or was he with his father?
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to remember Guardians 2. I thought they were on Earth at some point, but maybe
no. They were on the little. I think they were on the little weird planet. I'm not sure they ever came.
But that's what I'm saying. When they went there? Where did they leave from? When they went to like his little planet,
from the planet he was running from the other little people from. They was running from the Remember the Fox thing had stolen little battery joints and they was being chased.
Yeah.
And they saw him flying across space and he saved them. And they ended up some other planet.
Right. Hey yo, I think that is his first time on Earth.
Yeah.
That should have been mentioned or something. Talked about. Like, I feel like just a quick little line about it.
I mean, they didn't really give Star-Lord much. You know, they got the thing where he got bopped in the face, and then when Gamora kneed him in the nuts. But that was pretty much it with that. And then the little
they needed to, man. He fucked everything up in Infinity, man. His dumb ass, dude.
It was supposed to happen that way.
Yeah, right. I'm like Doctor Strange. Dude. You could have been like, yo, Quill, you need to chill the fuck out. Yeah.
I would have just sent Peter Quill away.
Yeah, dude.
Why you send him away?
Speaking of Doctor Strange, you know what I had an issue with, and it was cool, but at the same time, when you do stuff like that, you kind of is like it makes you wonder. When they showed the Ancient One, so when they showed her back in 2012 with the original movie, I thought that was dope. But then at the same time, I'm like, wait a minute. So you seen all that shit going down like that, and all you did was blow up a couple of little things. It was just then you didn't do nothing else, and that shit was going down in there, yo. Like, and I know you can't. It's speculation because it's all in retrospect. But at the same time, still, it's like dang, that's all she was doing. She was just watching. Like, I'm gonna throw little things out here and there, let them mess with the rest of this shit.
No. Let's call it like it is. Let's just be completely honest here. You are the current sorcerer supreme. The Earth is being attacked, and you ain't doing shit.
Yeah, you chilling, blowing up a couple of strays.
well, no wonder you said Doctor Strange is the greatest of us, because you ain't doing nothing.
You ain't doing shit.
Hey, listen, Doctor Strange 2 is one of the best chance we have at having another black supervillain. We need that movie. we need that movie.
Yeah, whatchamacallit? Yeah, but man, look, if they make my man the main bad guy, they better make him dope. He better be dope, because I feel like dude is ready to go off.
I liked him in the first Doctor Strange. He was pretty good.
Yeah. I liked it. I'm thinking I don't want him to be the old typical bad guy, because a lot of the
you don't want him to be the villain of the week.
Yeah, I want him. I don't want his. I guess I don't want his motivation to be so
something stupid.
Yeah, just something stupid. Like, right. I don't know. I want him, and I don't necessarily want him to just be angry either. Like, I want him to have like an actual purpose, to where like even the good guys are like, you know what? He's got a point to this shit.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, Thanos has a point.
Yeah, but Thanos is just downright bad. I mean, Thanos is Thanos. He's not. He wasn't good and bad, and nah. Thanos is a damn serial killer that been bad. Like, you can't. We like Thanos because we like him, but you don't agree with him.
I can see him having a point. He's just going about it the wrong way.
Yeah, Thanos' problem is this. He is the most extremist, the most extreme environmentalist you'll ever see in your life. Like, that dude was just like, there's overpopulation. I'm like, we get it, dude, but we can try and figure out something, recycling, but you ain't got to kill everybody. You know?
But see, I like that. I like that little plot, but that was watered down too, because Thanos don't care about no 50%.
No, he loves death.
Everybody dead. He wants death. He don't care about no 50% and balance. Nah, I'm killing everybody.
The reason why he wants everybody dead, because that is the way he is trying to like make death be attracted to him. Yeah, he's trying to have a first date with death, dude. That's the reason he's doing it.
And, I'm reading the last trilogy that Starlin's doing. It's pretty crazy. I just picked up the second book. I didn't even know that it was out.
What's it called?
The Infinity Conflict.
Ooh, okay.
So they had the Infinity Sibling, which I read. Then Conflict came out in November. I didn't even hear about it. I just bought it yesterday, so I have to read that. But those have been pretty crazy. I mean, they're not movie storylines or anything like that. You see Starlin's the man. You just see some really crazy stuff with this dude Thanos. I mean, this dude is, I'm blown away by this stuff. Like, when I read those books, I had to have like my freaking dictionary app right next to me, because some of this stuff that they be saying, I'm like, what the heck are they talking about?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Right.
It's crazy, man. I love it.
Hey, so speaking of which, another scene or one little tidbit that I did love that I told Regular Scott that I did like the little acknowledgement between Captain Marvel and War Machine, since they're supposed to be having a little thing. So that's kind of nice in the movie. So.
Well, he tried to talk shit to her.
No. In the comics, they're like a couple. So when they were doing the holograms, she kind of gave him a look and was like, "Be careful."
Yeah.
Of
course, there are a couple in the comics. That's progressive.
Yeah, right.
Oh, God. Look, hey, you know where that stems from, though, right? If you remember Secret Wars, okay? Iron Man, that was Rhodey at the time, and he was trying to hit on the original Captain Marvel, who was Monica.
Oh yeah.
Go back to that. So that's
that's awesome. See,
they recycled it, but they trying to make it. Oh, look, interracial love. I'm like, nah, look. Rhodey been trying to get at the women Captain Marvels since the beginning. yeah.
Rhodey, man, he's like, look, my best friend is Tony Stark. Do you not think I don't like women?
Right.
Well, they already had an interracial. Sam Wilson was hooking up with Jane Foster.
Yeah,
Thor.
with freaking Thor. Yeah, that was so lame.
Yeah, why?
I didn't like. I think they just did that just to do it. That's what I'm saying. It was lame because I was reading the all new Avengers stories when they did that with that, and I was just kind of like, eh.
Silly.
And I didn't care that it was interracial. I just thought it was lame that all of a sudden just Thor and Falcon, like, because when it first happened, they kissed, and it was just kind of like, ooh. But the next thing I know, like a few comics later, then they're like, oh, let's go out on a date, and then she's got cancer and this, that, and the third. I'm like, what the heck is all this, man?
Oh my god.
Money. What you any scenes that stuck out to you?
As in a good way or
a bad way.
Either way. This is just an open conversation about the movie.
I mean, my favorite scene, I kind of already went through it with when everyone came back, but and I, like I said, I love the all women's scene.
Ladies first, yeah.
The ladies first. But something other than that, I enjoyed I enjoyed the fight scene kind of between black not black. I was about to call him Black Cat.
Oh, you meant Black Widow?
But yeah, between Black Widow and Hawkeye to kind of like because I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah.
And like and they kind of fallen out to see, because until it hit me later that like Hawkeye has a whole family and Black Widow doesn't like have like a whole family or whatever. So it made sense that she be the one that gets sacrificed. But in my mind, I wasn't ready for her to be sacrificed. Right. So I think I thought it was just a little interesting. And then I'll tell you guys another interesting thing. But I thought that whole segment was interesting. How they made that play out, because I think they both went to that place thinking that they were both coming home. Right. So I found that little exchange to be really interesting. And another exchange that I thought stood out that was really interesting was when they went back to 2012. I think it was 2012 to get the Tesseract, to the 2012 timeline to get the Tesseract.
Mm-hmm.
And like it got screwed up and Loki escaped. Loki escaped with the Tesseract. Like, so the 2012 Loki is still so. An interesting question that I was left with was, okay, now you have to answer this question about the 2012 Loki that escaped with the Tesseract, right?
And because you know what, they have a TV show coming out about Loki on the Disney Plus app. So that could be how that might be your explanation right there.
Could be. So there were a few. And also interested to see if we get a Black Captain America. I know. So there were a few interesting nuggets and things that did stand out to me that I don't know the answer to.
Yeah, some of that time travel stuff just kind of leaves. I mean, see, that's the issue with time travel stuff. It always leaves all these freaking questions and all this stuff opened up. What happened? Because somebody tried to tell me, oh, well, Cap fixed everything, and so all that other stuff didn't happen like that. And I'm like, I don't think they just showed that stuff for us to be like, oh, it didn't. There's nothing happening, or there's nothing even going anywhere with that. And even with Cap returning the stones back, it still leaves questions, because did you put them right back the same way so everything happens again?
Right.
In the same way? But then you get but see, if you say it like that, don't you have an alternate point? Because
did you start a new timeline?
Right, because that Thanos is dead now, right? If going forward, he came into the future and y'all killed all them there, so none of that stuff happens with him, right? Or does it?
See, I disregard it. I totally, that's brilliant, because I didn't even think about that. My thing, I got I got complex. Like, I was tripping because it looked like Bucky, the Winter Soldier, knew Cap was going to be old. You know?
Man, it looked like he knew the whole thing because he was like, I'll see you later, buddy. I'm gonna miss you, saying all this stuff. The way he was looking, the way he was nodding, and like he knew he was at the bench. I'm like, what the hell?
I know, right?
What?
That's his man's though. Y'all gotta understand. That's his man's. Like he apparently like he know what he gonna do just by the look on his face. Like that's his dude.
Yeah.
But how did you know he was gonna be at the bench right there like that? Like what, man? Did something happen to where? Was it like some weird looper thing where the memory started catching up and he like did Cap tell him something in the past and he knew?
Well, see here, I have a theory behind that, and I need regular Scott to shut it down real quick. But so here, my theory behind that is that when Captain America went to the past, the one be with his girl, he was like, "Oh fuck this bullshit! I'm not going to let Bucky get fucked up," and so he goes back and like somehow fixes Bucky's shit. And that's why Bucky knew that he was going to be at that bench to give that shit.
That's what I was saying. I was wondering that too. Like, did he go back a whole bunch of stuff and just kind of maybe change some things?
And guess what? He could have totally did that without anybody knowing who he was too, because there's already there was a Steve Rogers under ice the whole time.
Right.
Now, as far as
how many Steve Rogers are there? Is there 3? Is there 2? Is there 4? What's going on here, man?
as far as that one goes, Oz, and we talked about this before. My counter to that is they did establish in the movie that if you go back in the past and do something, that it doesn't change the present day like it would in other, like it does in Back to the Future. They say you make an alternate time. Right. So it wouldn't affect what Bucky was thinking in that timeline that we were in.
Right.
Because they established that part.
And see, that's what I was saying. Like, how many Captain Americas are there? Because for him to know stuff or for him to change things, like what's going on here? Like even with when they were going back. When they went back to all the other points, right? And like you said, with Loki escaping, and then y'all don't even have the scepter anymore. Does that point from 2012, does that change the whole Avengers stuff from there, and they did something else different? Or
I think the alternate timeline that she was talking about when her and Hulk are talking, I think that 2012, that specific timeline that they changed, because that one has a different one. The one you were talking about with Thanos has a different one. I think there's 2 alternate timelines now, 3 actually, with the Captain America one. I think there's 3 alternate timelines out there.
But there might be even more than that, because Captain America went back when they fucked up the first one and didn't get it. They went back and he saw Peggy, but he's not going to be able to see Peggy because he's with Peggy now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
see,
man,
but nobody knows he saw Peggy. Like it was just him though. Like nobody else saw him see Peggy, so that wouldn't affect anything. But
all the stuff that she's doing is affected because she was not with him.
But that's a different timeline though. He went to a different time. That was when Jarvis was around. Jarvis isn't around during that first Captain America movie. He comes around during like the Agent Carter TV series.
Yeah, that was Agent Carter show.
So that's a whole different
but I'm
timeline.
talking about when he sees Peggy.
That's a different timeline.
But it's very confusing.
No, I agree with that. But that's a different time period than the first Avenger when he got frozen.
Oh, absolutely. But he went back at like 45, right when Rogers is under ice.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I agree with that.
So you get it.
Yeah, but But him going to look at her through the blinds wouldn't affect anything.
But it would have, because everything she did because of the absence of Steve Rogers. Steve Rogers is there at 45, so she probably would not even be working in that building anymore.
I disagree with that. She very well would be working with Shield.
Yeah, I mean,
but how do
get,
you know? Because
I get what you're saying.
Both said,
I get what he's getting at. Like, so he's saying that some stuff with Peggy should be different since Cap was with her. Then
absolutely,
that's all he's saying. Now, I don't know about her not working for Shield, but yeah, you're right. Some stuff about her life and some choices she made would definitely be different if Cap was there. So yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you, if she's working for Shield, you damn sure know that he's like right beside her on the DL. You know, because he ain't gonna let her slip out of his hands again, dude. You know.
I mean, it's that, like we've all said, this movie has brought up a lot of interesting questions, which I think is what they wanted. I think they wanted to keep people talking about it because that's how you keep people going back to see it, to see if they find anything else and stuff like that.
And it say, hey, the Hulk is now super intelligent, but why do you need to wear glasses?
Let that man live. He just went for a fashion statement.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, Hulk, come on, man.
Well, here's one that I caught today.
Oz, I appreciate the whole fact that you actually, a couple shows ago, you actually called that. You was like, it would be real interesting if they did the Banner Intelligent Hulk one. And I caught that a couple. I caught you drop that knowledge in there a couple shows back. I wanted to acknowledge that also, by the way. You did say that.
You just made his day, Money.
Wait, no, Money made my whole week, son. Yeah, it's all good.
So did y'all catch Howard the Duck coming out with a big old machine gun?
What?
Yeah, he's in there. A buddy of mine told me. He said look for that. He comes out the portal when Wasp flies out. If you look at the bottom right of the screen, he's walking out. He's got like this big old machine gun. They only show him for a couple seconds.
Love it.
Well, I got it on my Fire Stick. I'm going to look for that tonight.
Yeah, you got to look for him. And another thing I caught, which this was an inconsistency, Cap versus Cap. The 2012 Cap was fresh than a mug. He should have had bruises, banged up, uniform should have been jacked up. Why was this dude super fresh with no bruises and no nothing?
Healing factor.
Oh, that's right.
Ain't no healing factor. He was jacked up. He ain't even had a mask on no more. He had a freaking, not a bullet wound, but like a ray wound on the side. He was all dirty. His uniform was jacked up. But then when he see the other Cap in the hallway, he's super fresh and clean. I'm like, y'all didn't think that one out.
Right.
Because everybody else had bruised, like Iron Man was all banged up and bruised when they showed him. Thor was a little banged up like how he was supposed to be. You know, Hulk was all dirty and stuff. But Captain America, when he had time to take a shower and he healed from them bruises that fast, like, oh, okay.
So
that's good.
Where do we see this going?
That is a good one.
You know, where's the future of the MCU going? I've seen I put this in very strong quotation marks with a lot of salt on it. A leaked Phase 4 lineup of what's to come in the movies, and I can read that off if you want. But before I do that, what do you guys think they have planned for Phase 4? Money, I'll start with you.
Man, I haven't. So I know they're doing a couple of. So Phase 3 is not officially over.
No, it's not. It's not. Spider-Man will end that.
I think there's another. I think Spider-Man will end that. And then after that, dude, I guess they're doing a couple of Black Widow movies. It looks to me like we might get some Black Captain America movies. Dude, honestly, I don't know. I haven't even went to look at the Phase 4 stuff.
Right.
But I mean, I'm sure it's gonna be incredible, man. They've told an amazing story thus far. I really can't wait for the next phase. But I have no idea what direction they're going. I mean, they could answer some of these questions from Endgame. They could tell some other stories. They could bring in some, additional characters. I would like to see them do a little more with Shield and bring in like the jury and things like that. So, I don't know. You know, are we gonna get another Iron Man? Like, is that done? Like, I just I mean, I have 1,000 questions, so I just don't know.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Fantastic Four. Yeah. No. Man, guess first.
Migs.
And one thing that I guess they're doing the what do they call it when Thor teams up with Guardians of the Galaxy?
The Asgardians.
The Asgardians. So I guess what I do know is we're gonna get some of that.
I'm excited.
And maybe some Valkyrie stuff. So
that would be great.
Okay, yeah. Migs, what you got?
I personally want to see this open up the door for some new characters, introduce some new characters and establish them now, because you had this whole event with Thanos, all these people were affected and everybody's back. I think that should be a lead into some other stuff. Now with this Doctor Strange movie, you know, you can still have the time stuff with that and all that. So maybe down the road we see some faces pop back up. You know, people don't stay dead in Marvel anyway, so might not be the end of, you know, Robert Downey. You know, give it a few years. I mean, how dope would that be to have a crazy storyline where somehow they bring Iron Man back? I'm not saying they have to do that. Like I said, I'd rather see some different like all new faces, like with the Captain Marvel thing. Y'all could open that door for that, for like Sword. You know, something more, maybe some, you know, Secret Invasions kind of thing. I like to see a little bit more stuff with the Skrull. Captain Marvel wasn't what I was expecting. I liked it, but at the same time, I wanted to see some more with them. So maybe some of that. I mean, there's so many dope heroes that they're not necessarily A-listers, but they could bring them to light, bring the characters to life, and let more people know about these folks on the big screen. Just as, you know, you got to have good writing, you know, good direction and stuff like that. But how many characters are affiliated with the Avengers? How many Marvel characters have been an Avenger at some point anyway? Oz,
what you got?
Yeah. No, I love all that. Me personally, I'm excited to see. It's a great time to be a Blurred. Here's my vision for one thing. What if we have a Morgan that is age appropriate, looking 13 or 14, I hope. But she stumbles on to her father's secret lab. Check this out. You can get rid of Gwyneth Paltrow by having an older mother, an older Pepper Potts. They would have renegotiated Tony Stark's contract. I'm sorry, Robert Downey Jr.'s contract, so he doesn't have to make full-time appearances, and he's a hologram or something that's in the suit or nearby her, guiding her, and it's like her breakthrough as the new Iron Woman, whatever.
Yeah, Tony Stark as the new Jarvis.
That'd be
Tony Stark as the new Jarvis.
Yeah, that would be super dope if they did that.
See, that's what
it would, because that would be perfect too, because more people would be more accepting of it if they still had Robert Downey in there, because you know how folks are with women and stuff, and women superheroes anyway. They want to be all crazy and whatnot. But that would be dope, and it would make sense, and it would be service for the fans too.
Yeah, look, opening scene is your girl eating a cheeseburger, and then take it from there.
Hey, okay. Oz, I've told you this before, and I'm gonna tell you this again. Hopefully you start listening to me, but obviously you haven't. You have got to stop giving these directors and producers these ideas when you should be doing them yourself instead of just giving them away for free on your podcast.
Yeah. Oh man. But then,
that's a good idea, man. Like, that's a strong idea.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's good.
Hey, yo, let's Defy Life. Let's pull together. Let's do our thing, people. But then another side that I'd like to see, you know, there's so much exploration that we could be doing, man. Because like, you can really get into, like, here's my little thing too, man. Hawkeye was a beast in Endgame. I love to see.
Yeah.
I want to see. I hate origin stories. I'm over it. But he deserves one, man. We deserve to see how he got to be that good. You know?
Yeah, because he was. I forgot about his little. They both were. I forgot about his little murder spree that he was on. Like,
Dude,
Like,
that
yeah,
dude was
yeah.
cutthroat, dude.
That dude went full on Punisher on them. Like, I'm killing.
Yeah, he did. I'm killing everybody.
I'm killing everybody. Like, dang.
So,
Yeah.
I was surprised that they even showed the scene where he slit dude's throat and they showed him bleeding out some. I was like, dang, that's kind of okay.
Yeah.
I you know what? I wasn't after they showed Thor cutting Thanos' head off. After that, I was like,
that's
all
like,
bets are off.
CGI, and you could do that with that. But this was, I mean, he like slit dude's throat and dude was gagging while he was bleeding out. Like, oh shit.
Hey, and then let's bring up something else too. Since this is Take a Knee from Marvel versus DC. Look, man. So in DC, you got I Am Batman. He's like a normal person, but he's scary, trained, dude. Hawkeye ain't wearing no crazy mask, nothing, but he is standing amongst gods, super soldiers, aliens, hold his own, do his thing.
With a bow and arrow and a sword.
With a bow and arrow and a damn sword, dude.
Yeah, if you ask my opinion, he should have been dead a long time. If you ask my opinion, he should have been dead a long time ago. But that's my honest opinion. My honest opinion is that he should have been dead a long time ago.
Look, I'm a caveat off of that. I was pretty upset in Endgame when Thanos bombed the crap out of their whole facility, blew the whole damn thing into the ground, and nobody died. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This dude, the whole team fell into a hole in the ground with a building on top of them, and everybody got up and just dusted it off.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
Yeah, Rhodey screaming canopy.
That dude, I mean, the way he bombed a place and then sent that one that was by itself that just blew the whole thing, like that was just for extra measure. I was like, come on, nobody died? Like, that's the thing.
Long as they didn't kill Raccoon. They better not have killed Raccoon like that.
Some people should have died. See, that's
well,
my thing.
I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt and said, thank you, Wakanda, for giving them vibranium. But man, that's a lot of firepower.
Yeah, I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt too, because I wanted the same thing, but in my mind, I justified it that they were already.
They had just fortified it after they.
Yeah, they were already in their defensive postures. Iron Man had shields up, and the other dude.
Okay, because Migs, here. This I'm gonna try and ease your soul a little bit. The Infinity Gauntlet had just been used, so that power was still resonating around the whole area. So that sort of protected them. I know it's a stretch. It's a stretch.
Hey,
it's a stretch.
It works though. It works.
Y'all need to stop. Y'all know good and well didn't know Infinity Gauntlet power protect them. They just didn't want to kill nobody.
All right, so I have a Phase 4 supposed leak. What's to come? So I'm gonna read off a few of these titles.
Regular Scott. Can I just mention one more thing before you read that off?
Sure.
Now listen, how fucking crazy is it? This is my last. Go take a shower. Everything. But this is my last little rant. My last little rant, dude. How crazy is it after everything's been said and done in Endgame? People got to talk to their loved ones and be like, "What you been doing for the last 5 years?"
Oh my God, that's gonna be awful.
I just wanted to bring that up. I just want to bring that up.
How many husbands moved on and their wives are going to come home and find another woman waiting?
Son, how many wives have moved on and the husband's going to come home?
Hey, because women move on, Jack. Women move on,
son,
bro.
No doubt.
Son.
They be out, yo. They be like, oh, that nigga dead. I'm sorry.
Right.
5 years. I waited 5 days.
Sorry.
You know? Come on, man.
The people that vanished that wasn't superheroes didn't even realize what the heck was going on. They just was like, wait a minute, what happened?
They probably thought the rapture happened.
You know they some of the little posters was like the rapture and all of that.
Yeah.
You're right.
Could you imagine reappearing in your house and your wife got a new husband laid up in the bed and you appeared right in the bed like with them because that was the last place you was at?
The husband, whoever the new husband is, he is freaked out and is running as fast as he can in his underwear out the house when they reappear.
Nah, because he might not even know. He might not even know who you are. He might think, "Oh shit, I got somebody to shoot."
You
like,
right.
Dude.
Hey, that's wild right there. Because like I was thinking about that when they showed the school scene with Peter and Ned. Because I was like, wait a minute. I was like, that's kind of weird, right? Like, what happened with the whole school thing? Did everybody just go back to normal? Did Pete go back to school? Like, who all disappeared from the school?
So, wait, what you mean I can't graduate with my class, man? What you talking about?
They graduated 5 years ago.
Yeah, they graduated 5 years ago, bro.
What you mean what you mean you finished college? What you mean you finished college?
Right. Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, who all vanished? Did they all vanish? Because if some of them didn't vanish, they would have aged while you didn't, right?
Because MJ is in the new Spider-Man. Like, she's been in some photos and stuff.
Hey, I'll also bring up this. Mr. President, your term has been over with. It's been 5 years.
Mr. President might have been snapped away.
So you know what I'm saying, dude? Come on, man.
Like, Vice President just got his position taken back by the president.
Hey, yo, how you gonna repo my car when I wasn't around to make the payment? Well, sir, it's been 5 years. We haven't had a payment. Oh, come on.
I don't even think they was worried about that right at that point, because you see all them vehicles in the lots and all that.
Yeah, right, dude. Man.
And see that's what I'm saying. Like, even with that right there, an event like that, you don't just come back from it and everything's hunky dory. I mean,
dude.
Look at the stuff that they showed that was abandoned, baseball fields, all those boats and all that other stuff. That's crazy, man.
I'm gonna tell you, if Captain Marvel said, I may not see you for a couple of years because there are lots of planets like yours, she ain't gonna see us for decades, dude, because that's gonna be more pandemonium coming out of that.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, that shit is wild.
We just opened up a whole nother can of worms right there.
All I know is
we're going to get a cease and desist letter from Marvel. Stop talking about this stuff.
All I know is Thanos said, I told you so.
Yeah, it's like, we should do an episode on that. How many marriages were broken because of that?
Twitter poll.
You're right.
Need for DC Twitter poll.
That might need to be one. What
vanishing and the reappearing? How many marriages were jacked up, and how many relationships were totally screwed?
Oh, all right. Let me go over this little schedule they got for Phase 4 and tell me what you guys think about this lineup. The Black Widow movie, which has been confirmed, so that one's good. Eternals movie, which has been confirmed. Inhumans, which I don't think they're going to go back to. Doctor Strange, Baron Mordo.
Yeah.
I think they'll do that. Shang-Chi, which has been confirmed.
Please, I'm waiting. But dude, who fucking cares about the Eternals?
Well, we'll see. Black Panther 2, which is probably going to be about, the new. It looked like a new Wakanda to me. Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which is going to be Asgardian, so that's pretty much confirmed.
Hey, is James Gunn directing that again?
He's back, yes.
Yeah, he's back.
Good. Okay.
He's back. Ant-Man 3.
Supposedly Thor is going to be in that because they said that old dude is still signed with them. So.
Oh yeah, he's definitely going to be in that. No question. He's got to be.
Yeah.
Ant-Man 3, which I think they'll probably have Cassie Lang in.
Wow.
If that's true. Captain Marvel 2, which I'm sure they will do. Now here's where it starts to get interesting if this is true. The Silver Surfer movie.
I'd love to see that.
The Nova movie. A Power Pack movie. I don't know what that is.
Oh, that'd be interesting. Okay.
Man, that Power Pack stuff is odd. Like nobody cares about that.
It was a big deal in the 80s, dude.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No one cares now. I know what you mean. Yeah.
I've got a couple of Power Pack comics, but other than that, it's just like okay, that it's kind of like a kiddie Fantastic Four.
It is.
Well,
and that's what I'm saying. Like nobody,
and that's the exact same reason why I liked it back then too. But see, I don't know if anybody's really gonna give a flying whatever about the Eternals and Power Pack. You know,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the Eternals might open to some doors or some stuff, but
right.
I don't see that either, man. It's like you can deal without that mess.
Fantastic Four, Spider-Man.
Let's do it.
Spider-Man: Secret Wars, and then the last movie on the schedule is Dark Avengers.
But listen, it cannot be a fucking origin story for Fantastic Four again.
Oh gosh, please no! Don't.
It cannot.
Don't.
You need to go hit the ground running and be doing some stuff, dude. That's it.
Yeah, they need to just open that with like, you know who we are. You don't need to like kind of make it like tongue in cheek. Like, look, you know the story. We're not doing that again.
Yeah.
They've earned enough real estate for me to say that I think they know what they're doing.
Yeah, I agree.
I've seen 22 of their movies. I think they
definitely. This will not be a Roger Corman Fantastic Four or Mr. Fantastic Four, Mr. Fantastic Dancing. So
they're not gonna DC me to death. Like, they know what they're doing by now.
I would love to see just a dope Fantastic Four movie with a dope Doctor Doom, because I'm not gonna lie,
dude.
I enjoyed Rise of the Silver Surfer. I liked that movie. I didn't think it was bad, except for what they did with Galactus. I thought it was way better than the first Fantastic Four, and I liked Silver Surfer in that, and I liked that they had Lawrence Fishburne as his voice. I really liked it.
Yeah, I just hated Galactus in that, dude. That was silly.
They definitely need to redo that, and they need to get some better writing on it, and they need to get better special effects and that stuff, because that movie was like, some of it was good effects and some of it was crappy effects, and it kind of.
Well, they certainly got Invisible Woman's hair.
They have all that now, though.
Yeah,
I think they were still playing around with some of this stuff back when they.
Yeah, I mean, because the first one was real bad. I was just kind of like, whoa, and they stepped it up in the second one, but it kind of.
Well, hey, can we all just for a hot second just acknowledge how much of a badass you can be if you're going to be the Human Torch and then you're going to be Captain America?
Yeah, I liked him as Human Torch.
Oh yeah.
I thought he when especially because he was younger too, and he was playing roles like that in like those teenage movies. He just had that hothead personality.
Dude,
like
I'm gonna tell
Snow.
you, I knew Chris Evans was gonna be a star and that he could do some superhero stuff when he did Push. When I saw Push, I was like, "Yep, you're in, dude."
I didn't see all that movie. Some of it. It was.
Oh man,
on
you should check out Push,
I was watching. Is that the one where he protects the little girl?
Yeah, and it's like the Dakota, and he's got telekinesis pretty much.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't see that whole movie. I think the first movie I remember with Chris Evans was Cellular, and I like that though.
Wow. Okay.
I like that movie.
I think the one I'm most excited about on here is Shang-Chi.
Oh yeah, for sure, dude. Come on.
I'm
not too familiar with that character. Who's he related to?
So
Comic connoisseur, do your thing.
Shang-Chi is otherwise known as the Master of Kung Fu. His father, I think.
Wait, is that the dude with the? Okay, is that the Liu Kang looking dude?
Exactly, Fu Manchu.
Okay.
I think like pretty much Fu Manchu, his father, trained him from a baby on to be like this incredible. He is like the living embodiment of like the perfectionist of martial arts. So if you remember, there was a whole thing called Secret Avengers, where they would go on these secret missions that the other Avengers couldn't go on. Cap had him go on one where they were out of space, and Shang, he was just going, "Why do you have me on this? Am I the weakest Avenger?" He goes, "No, you're like one of the strongest Avengers. We just can't have any like explosions going on." It was very interesting. That cat can heal his body from martial arts. He's amazing. It will be a good plot.
I mean, I'd love to see a martial arts movie like that.
Yeah,
like some actual like really good fight choreography and stuff like that, and not so much superpowers.
Yeah, dude. He's a better martial artist than Iron Fist is.
Okay.
Yeah, he's up there, dude. He's really
the best in the Marvel universe.
He's the best in the Marvel universe. Absolutely.
I remember a little bit now. So was that more like was that kind of like an ode to like Bruce Lee kind of deal?
It was an ode to Bruce Lee, and he would hang out with Daredevil. He was the street level dudes.
Right.
Daredevil.
Right. See,
yeah.
That's what I want to see. I want to see more of that.
I do too. I like the non-powered guys like that, smaller scale.
Yeah, because we've gotten all the big stuff and even all that. And see, I think that's why I think that's why Winter Soldier was so good, because you had Captain America on a lower level than, you know, Avengers kind of stuff. And so many of those stories can be done with even with those heroes. I like the big time heroes in low key stories that are like maybe one shots, or maybe like these are 2 or 3 issues, and you just get a little story where they're doing something in their community or something real small. They don't really have like a team up with nobody. It's a little short mission that they got to go on. That stuff like that, though. I think if you did stuff like that, you could have so many more movies and like standalone stuff.
Well, you know, you got to do it, man, because like when the alien invasions come down, who are the street level people who are like protecting the block, you know, keeping it, you know, that kind of thing is awesome.
I mean, because they could even show that on a smaller scale, like the 2012, the Avengers. Okay, you in New York, we know there's plenty of other heroes in New York, street level stuff. Yeah, what was they doing? It's just like when y'all showed this perspective with the Sorcerer Supreme. Okay, she was on the roof hitting stragglers and stuff. What was these other folks doing? People had to be doing stuff. This is New York we talking.
Right. The most concentrated city in America with all the superheroes.
Right. So yeah, I think stuff like that would be dope. You know, like I said, they there's a lot they could do, and you know they got good folks that know how to write and know stories and stuff like that. So, I mean, you know, I think it's going to be hard to kind of top all these movies that we have already, but I think that they could do some interesting stuff and change the game a little bit. Like you said, we've gotten big level alien invasions, big level bad guys. We've gotten whole events that y'all have handled. Let's get some lower tier stuff and still make it dope.
Take it back to the streets.
Money. What movie are you most excited about on that lineup?
Shoot.
If it's a true leak lineup.
You know, Doctor Strange, the next Doctor Strange, the next Black Panther, and probably Black Widow, and that's Spider-Man. Spider-Man is my favorite guy. He's my favorite MCU. He's my favorite Marvel hero. So anything related to Spider-Man, also I would freak out about.
So are you excited about about Far From Home coming out soon? And what are your expectations for that?
Oh, absolutely! I can't wait. Expectations, you know, as you guys know, as I told you, I wasn't super in love with I'm not super in love with the Spider-Man, like the Avenger. Kind of before he does, you know, it's just my own personal thing. But I've seen the story. I've seen several Spider-Man movies, so I guess I don't have to rehash that story. But I am very excited to see it. And if he's doing more like Avengery stuff, you know, like my expectation, I just want to know if he's going to be doing more Avengery stuff, or is he going to be like the Spider-Man that I kind of know and love.
Yeah.
So, like either way, I'm going to love it. But with no Tony Stark, and you know, because apparently so we'll see if this movie is a prequel to, like, you know, in Endgame or what. But like I just feel like Spider-Man's arc could be interesting now, because he's kind of like the Avenger Spider-Man, but Tony Stark's gone. So, you know, my expectation, I really don't know, because I don't know what direction they're going to go.
Okay, true that. Man, we just had a strong 2-hour conversation right there.
This was good.
That was good, man. This is a lot of fun. I want to thank Migs and Money for being on. Appreciate you guys. We're going to time to do our final blow.
Hey, before you do that, man, I just want to say, Migs and Money, it is always a pleasure having you guys on, because like your insight and your perspectives are always like just top notch. I just want to say that.
Well, I thank y'all gentlemen for having me on y'all show. You know, I love to discuss with y'all, learn new stuff, get that knowledge, man. That's what it's all about, and it's good. It's good conversation. I like this, because we could talk, we could disagree, we can laugh, and ain't none of us on that dumb stuff. You can't have conversations especially superhero stuff, man. You start talking to some people, you say one thing, and they want to be going off like you talking about their mama or something.
Right. Taking it personal. Right. Yeah.
Like, dang, yo, like, look, we just disagree. Like, chill out. Or you get these folks that don't know what they talking about, trying to sound like they just been nerding their whole life, and it's like, yeah, you need to stop. You need to cut that out.
They just started watching movies on Infinity War.
Right. So I appreciate y'all gentlemen to the full.
That's
Thank you for having me on the show.
I love coming out, nerding out with you guys. I appreciate the invite, appreciate the perspective. Like I said, I'm an avid listener of the show. So anytime I get to come hang out with y'all, man, y'all make it look easy and it's not.
Nah, you made it look easy tonight, bro. Y'all did great. Y'all brought a lot to the show.
I know, man. It was a pleasure. It was awesome.
But it's time for the final blow. This is where we give our closing remarks. Money and Migs, you guys can plug anything you want. So we'll start with the guests. Migs, what you got for your final blow?
Everybody, like I said, Facebook, Instagram, Movies with Migs on the Defy Life Network. Check that out. Check out all the other great podcasts. They putting it down. Y'all got me bogged down. I can't keep up with y'all with all these podcasts. I be trying, man. I be trying to listen to everything when I'm on my long rides, when I'm in the gym and stuff. But y'all dropping knowledge, and I love it. So I love listening. I love y'all show, of course. So yeah, man. So just check everything out. Check out Movies with Migs. Check out the whole network, man. It's going down. We're doing big stuff this year.
Oh, Migs, I forgot to ask you. And then Money, I'll ask you after you do your final blow as well. What are you giving Endgame? What ranking are you giving it?
On your scale?
On our scale, our funny scale.
I mean, I wouldn't see. I didn't hear. Did y'all have anything from the highest in between, like the highest and the 6? Because I don't remember hearing anything.
You can add an Infinity Gauntlet to an MGK, which will make it like an 8 or something.
I like that. Regular Scott.
All right, so yeah, well, I'll give it a 7. I'll give it a 7.
Ooh.
Okay. So we'll say MGK is riding Guardian's motorcycle.
Well, hey, that is close. Regular Scott, that is close to an MGK with the Infinity Gauntlet missing the Space Stone.
That's what it is. That's what it is. Okay, that's what it is. All right.
I'll be more happy when I get some more nostalgia. I was a little bit salty today visiting Regal, and then they tell me they out of 10s, and then I went to another Regal on my way back home by my parents' house, and then they told me, oh, we completely out of all that. You can't even order the joints. And I'm like, what? They're like, hold up, man.
So you knocked them because you couldn't get no collectibles.
I knocked them right. Because it's stupid Regal, which is wrong, and I shouldn't, but I don't care.
Right.
That's funny. Money, what you got for the final blow?
Hey, man. Once again, man, hey, we just appreciate the listenership. We appreciate the fans. Hey, we do it for you guys, man. This is Money from the Defy Life podcast. Just saying hello, Defy Life podcast world. Once again, check us out at godefylife.com. Check out our gear page, Go Defy Life Gear. Once again, we're just trying to bring it to y'all. A Patreon page. Just check us out. Support. Each one of our shows has their own T-shirt now. So check that out. And y'all already know what I'm gonna end with, man. If you're not rocking with Defy Life, what is your life about?
Already. You are, and Money. What you give an Endgame?
What's the highest? What's the highest y'all got?
Irish West, man.
Hey, I'm gonna give it the Irish West.
West. The Flash's wife, Iris West. The Flash's main squeeze.
Iris West with an Infinity Gauntlet.
Damn. Okay.
Wow.
I loved it. I loved
it.
it.
Okay.
That's an
10
11.
plus, 10 plus.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 plus, 10 plus.
All right.
Wow. Okay.
10 plus, 10 plus. Okay.
And, hey, a superhero movie that can make me bawl, man.
I know, dude.
Like,
I know.
Like, it's not like it was fucking, I don't know. It's just a really sad movie. It's not like it was like a really sad movie or anything like that. But yo, I was serious. I couldn't stop crying. Like, and
it wasn't Old Yeller. It was just a good movie.
Right. It was a superhero movie. So any movie that can make me do that, man, and still keep it was funny. You know, I don't have to rehash, but yeah, man, it gave me everything I needed in the movie, plus the tears.
Okay, cool. Iris West with an Infinity Gauntlet. Woo. Oz, what you got for the final blow?
Let's see. I've been watching Ultraman on Netflix. That's been kind of a fun little ride watching that. Like they're like 15, 20-minute little, like maybe 8-10-minute episodes. That's been good. I did happen to watch, I couldn't get with it that much, Cloak and Dagger, and I did finish Runaways. And I enjoyed Runaways a lot more than Cloak and Daggers, actually.
Oh, you should have said that when V's was on the show.
When they do, man, you know, V's was talking about how he ain't seen money in 20 years, and like, you know, man, making me. I was like, V's, I've been crying on Endgame. Why you gonna make me cry right now, dude? What's the point? You know. So, and I'm telling you like this, regular Scott, I'm gonna give Endgame. Just you ain't asked, I'm gonna tell you anyway. I will give Endgame Iris West with Infinity Gauntlet. And I'm going to have to say it again. Just money, I like what you said. Yo, I was trying to be cool in the movie theater, but I was sobbing. I was laughing. And when I saw Captain America, when I saw that blade about to almost pierce Thor's chest, and then you saw that lightning, and oh yeah, man, I was in it, dude. It was a fun ride. I'll say that.
Yeah, I agree.
I could agree with that. That was a pretty dope moment.
Yo, seriously, I was seriously eating and chomping my popcorn, going, "This is the best right now."
Okay, I can't be mad at that. My final blow is, again, thank you to Migs and Money for being on. We really appreciate it. V's, we appreciate you coming on the show for a little bit. Part-time V's is back on the show, baby. And also, make sure you check us out on iTunes, Spreaker, follow, subscribe, leave us a 5-star review. We also have some shirts up on the Defy Life gear. Make sure you check out Movies with Migs on Facebook and Defy Life. Check out all his reviews. He's always got stuff up early. My man Money is on the Defy Life podcast. Make sure you're checking them out. They always got something new and fresh to bring to the table. Always a great discussion. And my final blow is Endgame is great. You got to go see it 2-3 times.
Yeah.
I'm going back to see it so I can find Howard the Duck. Migs, thank you for that.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was great, dude.
I'm definitely going back to find that. But all right, so that's all we got. Oz, tell everyone we talk to them next time.
Everybody, peace and chicken grease.
And as always, y'all have a good time, because we're going to have a good time until we talk to y'all next time. Peace.
Peace. Yo, what up, my people? This is J.R. Glent from Defy Life. If you're looking for an in-depth, honest, at times hilarious conversation on anything from current events to sports to entertainment and more, check out myself, Alvin, Thomas, Gerald, and Yosh on the Defy Life podcast. Dropping every Wednesday, available at godefylife.com and everywhere your favorite podcasts are available. And as always, if you're not rocking with Defy Life, what's your life about?
This is not around the horn. The mother shows whack.